What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Rico, the gearhead, here with yet another episode. Now today we'll be covering an accident that happened to me a while ago, and one thing to point out is that I'm okay. No serious damage was done to my bike or myself. We are going to be talking about also what happened at this past weekend at the Figure 8, the things that we saw. Although it was entertaining, I must point out that there was a risk factor that happened there. I got to hear that the cops were involved and stuff, but that's something that we're going to be talking about anyway. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, well, hello and welcome to this channel. Please do subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new episode from henceforth. Remember, we do post content here every Monday and Friday. So without further ado, let's get into the video. As a rider, it's crucial to understand that everything has its limits, be it yourself, the bike, or even the road. Accidents do happen, it's part of our everyday lives. No matter how safe you ride or how careful you are, eventually you will get involved in one. It will depend on the severe nature of the situation. But that shouldn't deter you from riding. It's the life we chose, and it's just the way it is. You can't change life. That's how life is. As you saw in the video, I was riding beyond the limits of my bike. What you saw there was a low side fall, meaning that it's caused when either the front or the rear wheel slides out as a result of either too much braking, too much acceleration, or too much speed carried into or through the corner for the available grip. It may also be caused by unexpected, or rather something that you weren't expecting, like a slippery or loose material such as oil, water, dirt or gravel on the road surface. We have had some riders fall on the Kenyan roads, especially due to oil spillage on there carried by trucks and lorries and vehicles. But there's a way how to maneuver. We will be covering that in the next episode. The road that I was using, it's not my first time. It has always been my route to and from work. It's not even my first accident either. One thing to point out is that, as Wakili said, it's crucial to know how to ride within your limits and the limits of your bike. I could have easily been severely injured, as you saw. Just right after I fell, a car just drove past, and I'll be honest, I did make some stupid decisions. It was a stupid mistake and I was a bit reckless, and I'm hoping that this video will be a lesson to you, all of you guys out there, to ride safe and within your limits. What do you think? Would you have done it differently if it were you? Let me know in the comment section below. The other thing that I wanted to point out is the importance of having proper gear. As you saw in the on the video, is that as I fell, my leg was trapped between the ground and the bike itself, and it could have been easily been scraped off for if it wasn't for my knee and shin guards. My trouser, as you saw, was torn to pieces, especially that specific area that I mentioned, as it slid underneath the bike. Gear saves lives, guys. It saves you a lot of headache and a lot of pain. Not to say that I didn't come out of that in that small accident without some injuries. I did sprain my wrist pretty hard. It was difficult to ride, let alone even hold a pen or even ride the bike itself. But you know what? You just have to dust yourself up, rise up, and move on. Though I will cover in another episode what to do in case of a crash, the steps and the procedures to do and to take in order to keep yourself safe, and the bike itself to save yourself a lot of trouble. As for the incident that happened on last weekend, here are my thoughts on it. As much as it was entertaining, I think there was a risk factor involved, especially now that we do have the coronavirus pandemic. We are advised by the Ministry of Health to practice social distancing, and that incident that happened on that weekend violated that very instruction. I'm not saying that it was bad or in any way, but considering everything that's happening right now, I don't think it was the right moment to perform such acts. It was entertaining. Seeing people ride huge sport bikes, dragging the knee and such is exciting and thrilling. But guys, we should be careful. People have died due to this coronavirus. In Kenya, I believe we are not capable, or rather we are not equipped enough to handle such cases that were experienced in China, in the US, and at worst in Italy. Such acts should be performed on track. We are lucky enough to have a track here in Kenya, the Whistling Morans at the river. It's a controlled environment that is equipped with the necessary procedures in case an accident happens, or rather in case anything that happens, injuries or low sides or whatever. But the things that were done, it was done on a public road, which is technically street racing is illegal in Kenya. I believe so. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Also, one thing to point out is that I do hear that the cops were involved, which is unfortunate. I'm just glad that nobody was hurt, nobody was injured. I did hear that a guy lost his spectacles. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and guys, remember to practice social distancing, or rather, and keep safe, ride safe, always wear proper gear. At GAT is our motto. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.